like to know your point of view.
Hi everybody, welcome to Evening TV. I'm Evening Ransom. Okay, so I said we're not going to talk about the story about what happened back a couple of weeks ago anymore, and we're not. But I do want to, because it was such a great illustration of so many things, so many concepts that we talk about, I want to touch on a few things. I want to talk today about a pathologically narcissistic person's relationship to facts. Basically the Jekyll and Hyde thing. They can just, when Jekyll turns to Hyde, just the facts can completely change. And how when that happens, they're black and white thinking. They're very much black and white thinkers. And so when it changes always and forever. So they are very much in the moment. They're very much in the moment. And the reason for that is because they're constantly in survival mode. And there's so many things about that make it just sort of unfathomable to normal people. Like the reason that they will fight so aggressively is because it's different when you're fighting for a principle, you're fighting for justice, you're fighting for the truth, you're fighting for, when you're fighting for a higher concept like that, it's one thing. But when you're fighting for survival, it's something else entirely. Just think about if you were starving to death, or your kids were starving to death, what you would do. In that case, you would be completely self-focused. Because in survival mode, we are self-focused. Because you're afraid, you're uncomfortable, you're completely self-focused. This is not the time when you're altruistic, you're not thinking about other people, it's hard to be kind, and anything is game. You will do anything in survival mode, right? So say you were, starving to death, you would do anything to get something to eat, something for your kids, so that's what it's like, and they live like this. Pathologically narcissistic people live in survival mode. And so that's why they only have really this moment, and they will say and do anything that gives them relief in this moment. And so their relationship to facts is very fluid, very, very fluid, because first of all, for them, feelings are just everything. Feelings are facts, and so that's the authority in their life. And so they will run things based on how it makes them feel, and anything to get relief. And so they can't basically hold two concepts in mind at the same time. So in this case, what happened there was that you get challenged, you challenge a person. So basically, how a pathologically narcissistic person is that they need to tell you their false reality, and they need to hear you tell it back to them. They need to hear you reinforce, yes, yeah, that you believe it, that you're on board with the false reality. Well, if you are, in my case, confronting them with something that disagreed with, that is a big deal. It's a much different deal for a pathologically narcissistic person than it is for a regular person. Because for a regular person, you can be challenged, someone can disagree with you. It's not like they're killing you. For a pathologically narcissistic person, to disagree with who they're telling you they are, it's like you're trying to kill them. It's like you're taking away who they are, you're trying to erase them. And they will fight you like they are fighting for their life. And you see it. You see the aggressiveness. And that's why anything is game. That's why they will make up anything, they will say anything, they will do anything, they will try all different tactics, and you will become the enemy. You are the enemy like that, just because you're the enemy, just like you were trying to murder them. And they, when they start saying things about stalking and all that, I think in some ways that actually they believe that, because they see this is very personal. This was very, very personal for me to have this idea about, it had nothing to do with me. It was this thing that happened, and there was a truth. There is no truth in the pathologically narcissistic person's world. For other people, it doesn't matter how we feel about it. The facts are the facts, right? the truth stands alone, but not so for them. They have magical thinking, so they believe that might be true for other people, but they get to kind of make it up as they go. And the idea that there was just a single truth, a single reality, it didn't work. And then what's really hard about this is that when the mask slips, or when the thing changes and you become the enemy, it's like there was never anything good about you. Never anything good about you. And this is so bad because it's like they're absolutely totally in the moment, and so they will have no gratitude. No gratitude for anything that you've done for them. The minute that you have a no, the minute you have anything that comes up against them, you just are blindly following them and going along with everything that they say and do. The minute that you confront them, confront their false reality, you are all bad, and everything you did that was good before is over, and there's no future. So it's like there is no past and there is no future. And also, future faking is why future faking works so well for them too. They can promise all kinds of things in the future because it really means nothing to them. It really means nothing to them. That's they say they're doing everything for the now. They say something about the future because of what it gives them in the now, because it works for them right now. It gives them something that they want now. It's not usually so overt and so clear, and it's not usually such a clear, crystal clear example. But here we have someone who is very outspoken, very kind of rough around the edges, and a real vocal person who has a YouTube channel. So it's a really demonstrative display. It was a big display for us to examine. And so you could totally see, the complete flip-flop and the complete change, and how she completely turned on me because I challenged her. And you can see it throughout the whole thing, how it goes along fine. And I really, I was thinking about this. I was thinking, there must be some really, deep, dark secret or blackmail, or, why would she? And you know what? I don't think so. When I think about it, I think it was enough for it just to be, when she came out, that he had done this thing, and she was very focused on him being the problem. And what changed it was that we, especially me, started saying that she needed to do something, that she was accountable. And that's where it changed for her. And I think the idea of just her coming up and saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, was unbearable to her. And it was really such a bad judgment call, because as far as her persona went, as far as trying to have a persona of being an empathic person who can help with narcissistic abuse, it would have been perfectly in line to say I made a mistake, because we tend to give people the benefit of the doubt and stuff. So it wouldn't have been out of character for her to do that. She was very over the top. Her inauthenticity makes it hard. Would have made it harder to believe that as well, because she was so over the top with all her high praise, and so that was a little bit. But had she just been authentically in favor of him, and then had realized that she made a mistake and just come clean about that, it wouldn't have been a big deal. Which is why I wasn't thinking it was a big deal. I was treating it just like it was like if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But what I see now is that was a really big deal for her. The fact that I was saying that she'd done something wrong and she needed to apologize, and not wanting to be responsible for anything, not wanting to be held accountable. And then I also think that in this world of YouTube, what I see is that for a narcissistic person who can't hold they can't hold their own self-esteem in place, they can't hold their false reality in place. They have to constantly be getting it reinforced. That this getting subscribers and all that is a really big deal, and that they need it. That they really need and fight for that little piece of the pie, because it's the narcissistic supply to them, really, like lifeblood to them. And so the aggressiveness in which she pursued that channel, and the way that she is very competitive and fighting for her little territory, is uncharacteristic of normal people. It's a very narcissistic way to be. And so there was just a lot that you can't necessarily see from watching 10-minute videos now and then, but it was a lot. It was a lot that I got to observe there. And then we got to all together watch the process of how that whole thing shifted and changed, and then how it was just like anything was game. She would nothing was off limits in what she could say and do, because it's just black and white, and she was fighting for survival. She was totally in survival mode, and that's a whole different ball game. That's why it's such a different kind of a battle. It's because when you're fighting for what's right and wrong and justice, totally different than when you're fighting for survival. And everything is survival for them. Every single day they're fighting for survival. Every single day, every single thing is they believe that they have to fight. They have to be scrappy. They have to fight because someone's trying to take away their life from them all the time. They have to fight for their life all the time, and really don't believe that anyone would give them anything. I think they do believe that people are pathologically envious of them, that someone wants to see them trip up and screw up and get lose everything every minute. I think that they're always very, very paranoid. Very paranoid. I think that goes along with the territory. And the more they have to lose, the more paranoid I think they get. Just kind of looking back on the jagged way that it just completely switched, it was clear. And they don't think about how are they going to be seen if they completely flip-flop. Or they don't think like that. It felt good now to say it this way. It felt good now to rewrite history, and so that's what they do. They don't think about yesterday. They don't think about tomorrow. They think about right now. It's magical thinking. It's kind of like the little kid would be, but you wouldn't think it would ever work, but it does. And I think part of the reason it works pretty well is because it's just so shocking. And they're so adamant about it. Just so adamant. They're, unapologetic and just absolutely the one that's just, they're so committed to it. But it's like, they are lying, they're telling this lie like their life depends on it, because it does. In their mind, it does. Okay, you guys, thanks a lot. I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.